Hi guys, well, a new playlist with this video. I'm calling it Expedition to Orpheus, and that's where I plan to head this season. I want to go up to Orpheus Island. There's some really good reef about 15 nautical mile out from Orpheus, and I want to get out there and have a bit of a sneak around and just see what that reef has to offer. So that's the plan for this season, and the new playlist, Expedition to Orpheus. Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. Well, I've been in the marina for quite some time now, just waiting to get up on the hard, but it's going to happen Tuesday. So I've got everything pretty well prepared to go, and I've just been having a look around at consumables and where I'm going to get them. Hi dudes, I'm on a mission this morning. I want to find out where it's cheaper to buy your consumables when you're anti-fouling. Bunnings or the Chandlery. Let's take a look. I'm just going to do a little bit of a comparison on consumables, so paintbrushes, masking tape, rollers, things like that. So I'm going to compare here with the Chandlery at Boatworks and see which comes out best. The first thing I'm going to look at is masking tape. Scotch blue masking tape, $7.85. Little Ripper yellow stripe roller covers, 100mm, $10.02. 50mm throwaway paintbrush, $3.95. Okay, so which is cheaper, Bunnings or the Chandlery? Let's check it out. Okay, let's take a look at Marine Trade Supplies. The beauty of this place is it's right in the Hardstand at Boatworks, so you can walk here from wherever your boat is, so it saves a bit of mucking around, and it really is a great store. It's got a very big range of stuff for boaties. So let's go in and compare some prices. Okay, Scotch blue original masking tape, $8.95. Yellow stripe 100mm roller covers, $9.22. 50mm throwaway brush, $3.55. Okay, I'm here with Luke from Marine Trade Supplies here at Boatworks. What a great store. I shop here. I find that the prices here are better than Bunnings, so that's a bit of a wrap from me.
Yeah, thanks Norm. Basically we're based inside the Boatworks here, and we've been here for about 7 years. We've doubled our size pretty much well every year, and now we've got a 1,000 square metre superstore. We're very confident in our pricing. We're trying to break everyone's habits of getting your stuff before you get to the boatyard. We're very confident in our pricing. Obviously get beaten on a few specials here or there, but yeah, bring them to my attention, that's my area.
Well, I've just been for a trip up the mast. These screws come loose and the whole foil gets out of line, and this bearing at the top jams on it. So what I've got to do is unscrew these little grub screws, put Loctite on them and tighten them up again. I've got the sail down. It was a bit of a problem because the sail was jammed up there, and what's happened, the foil on these furling head stays, the foil has come loose at the top and it's out of alignment, so the bearing at the top of the mast wouldn't come down over the misalignment. So if you're running these Pro-Furl furlers, it's a good idea every year to go up and tighten up your grub screws so that you keep everything in line. Well, we're just about ready to drop our lines here and head over to Boatworks. It's not very far. It's only about a 10-minute trip from my berth at Hope Island, so we're going to head over there and haul out. The work begins. My job's going to be as big as that one. The first thing to do is put on a dirty shirt. This is one of the things I like about Boatworks. Everything is fended. There's cushions on everything. There's no sharp edges, no girders, no concrete poles. Everything's fended up, so your boat really does get looked after. This is the other way of doing it with a thing they call a scissor lift. That's great for cats with a bit of clearance between their hulls. The first job is to acid wash the hull. So above the waterline, I'm just going to use an acid wash to take all of the brown stain off. You see just the water stain here. See, that is a brown stain along the inside of the hull. I do the outside occasionally when I'm on the boat, but the inside I can't get to. So this is the product we use. It's called Clean Works. Just mix it up, and it's really good for getting the stains off. Deal is you put it on, let it soak in a little bit, and then wash it off. Make sure you wear eye protection as well.
I've only done the middle part.
Yeah, okay. I'll come back up. Doing here is just taking duct tape off the shaft. What I do, because my shafts are exposed, I wrap them in duct tape before they go in the water, and then I anti-foul that, and it stops all the barnacles making a mess of your shaft, so it keeps it in pretty good nick from year to year. Now I've got a problem with this slipping. I left the boat in the marina for a couple of weeks, and while I was away they had a big oil spill in the marina, and the water dripping off the top of the boat into the water. This was beside the dock. It just splashed oil all up over all the gel coat, so you can see there's a pretty nasty stain in the gel coat, and we've tried a few things to get it out, but it's really ingrained, so we're going to have to use some other product. Well, I've used everything from petrol to acetone to Kero to everything, and Jeff from Cleaner Works has just come down, and he's using a product called Rip It. You can see where he's worked there. It's taken that stain right out. So what he's going to do now, I think, Jeff, is just give it a buff.
Yeah, I'm going to hit it with our super cut.
Okay.
Cutting and rubbing compound. That'll bring the shine back onto the gel coat. And then I'll seal it with what we call our super sealer, Teflon and Canuba wax, high gloss.
Beautiful. So it'll be back to new gel coat, and a lot easier than what we were doing. We couldn't really get it out. Spray up here. Well, it's great to get a product that works, and that's really brought the gel coat up to look a bit like new. Still a few along here, Bruce, but a bit more. But yeah, well, I think I'll have to hit it with that thing again. Well, that's just one side done, so it's a pretty big job. Anyhow, I'll get back into it again tomorrow, I guess. Not a great day to be on the hard. Pretty wet, so really not much you can do in this weather. This is where it'd be really good to be in a shed. You can still work, but with this sort of weather, it's it makes it pretty hard to do anything. Clint, put the sling on first, tie under the sling. So the boys from Everything Marine just went up the mast and lowered the forestay. They're going to do some work on the foil. Thanks, guys.
Ah, it's a pleasure, Norm.
The trouble is here. some pretty big vessels out here. Okay, so that's a good way of doing it. How often do you have to slip? Well, this slip for me has been 18 months, and admittedly I've been travelling for most of those 18 months, so the best thing you can do for anti-foul is move both through the water, I reckon, and that's kept it pretty clean. I reckon I would have got another 6 months out of it when it came out and they water blasted it. It was very clean, there weren't many barnacles. I reckon I would have got another 6 months pretty easily, so we might have to do some more travelling next year before I decide to hardstand.
We started it up with one little shop over there, and John was supplying his paint and fiberglass to all the traders and that side of things. As came the yard, on that, there was plenty of other stuff
So it's great to put that one down. Norm's right with the copper loading, it's the highest. It is an active ingredient that keeps the smell off the bottom of your boat. It's also got a massive packet of biocide, which is also an active ingredient. So like Nick said, we've been using the number 5 and got great results out of it. So we're looking at putting this one down and seeing how much further we can go.
So we've rubbed all of this back. On the other side of the port side hull, there's a couple of bits of tape, and I've just done that bit with that pad. So if you go and have a look at that, you can see the difference, especially up around the waterline. It doesn't really take that back. This is quite smooth. That'll take the plane all right now. All the topside even.
That's right. That's right again.
Well, the hardstanding and anti-fouling day was a big success. We had about 26 people attend. They all reckon they picked up a few things from the day, so that was great. Good to meet a few of the YouTube fans as well. Cheers, guys. But anyway, now it's back into the dirty clothes and into finishing this job. We've got the boat pretty well rubbed down. All the anti-foul's been rubbed back. I'm just masking up now, and I'll go around and put a bit of primer on it before we put the anti-foul on. So just trying to do it in between showers at the moment. It's been quite wet. Good to be in a shed when it's like this, but we're not. So anyway, onward and upward. I'll just keep on getting it ready to put a bit of anti-foul paint on, hopefully back in the water by Tuesday. Don't forget to tape up your HF ground plate before you anti-foul. You don't want anti-foul on the ground plate, so tape it up. Okay, so I couldn't film you doing this because it's just too messy, but we've used a product called Viniguard. Anywhere that the anti-foul's rubbed back to the epoxy, 2-pack epoxy, we Viniguard it before we anti-foul. So that's why it looks a bit patchy, but that's now ready for a couple of coats of anti-foul. So hopefully if it's not wet tomorrow, we might get some on. Getting there, eh? This is the product I'm using this year. It's called Eltex Number 5 Plus. It's a new product from Eltex. I've had a good run out of Eltex for the last 3 or 4 slippings. I'm going to put 2 coats of this on and 3 on the leading edges, so under the shine here and up around the front I'll put 3 coats on. It takes me about, for this boat it takes me about 14 litres to do the whole boat, giving it 2 coats. So it's a pretty good product. I'm looking forward to see how this Number 5 Plus goes, because the Number 5 was definitely You know, like you get at least 18 months, maybe 2 years out of the antifoul, so that's the trick to it. Anyway, dirty job, but someone's got to do it. Well, that's it, one coat of antifoul on. I'll leave that for 24 hours now, and we'll get another one on tomorrow. And back in the water on Tuesday. Yippee! It's been good up here on the hard. We've done it pretty well, but it'll be good to be floating again. So get a few miles on it. The best thing I can do for this antifoul now is travel. So I plan on doing a bit of that when we get back in the water. Anyway, job's nearly finished. Fantastic. So this is the last job. Bruce is just under the boat, putting a bit of prop speed on the props. The rudders are anti-fouled. The rest of the hull's been anti-fouled. The anodes are back on. And we're ready to go into the water tomorrow. Well, it's always good to be ready to splash again. So we just about finished our chores. About lunchtime, I think, on day 6. So it's gone pretty well, actually. Back in the water tomorrow, over to the marina, and then a new adventure. I'll tell you about it down the track. So all the jobs are done, ready to go back in the water. The information day was great on Saturday. We had 26 people there. They all went away saying they learned a bit, so that's great. Yeah, and it was good to pass a bit of information on. I'm ready to splash now. A few people I want to thank helped in putting the day on. Charmaine from Boatworks, she was great in getting us here to do it, and also Luke from Marine Trade Supplies, the chandler at the marina. He was great, he helped out. Casey and Peter, Casey from Marine Trade Supplies and Peter from Eltex, they came and gave up a bit of their long weekend to have a bit of a chat to the people there. So that was fantastic. And also Steve from Everything Marine. He came and adjusted the rig. He put a new forestay up and fixed all my foils and did a great job. The rig's a lot tighter. I think I'll have a lot better time furling that now. Great to deal with. Look, I got in early. I contacted Steve, I think, before Easter, but he marked me down, and it all went a couple of days. He had the job done. It's fantastic. Thanks very much, Steve. Really good to deal with. Recommend them as riggers here at Boatworks. So anyway, everything's done. Just waiting to splash now. Always good to be back in the water.